Hello, everyone. Hope you're all safe and well. Welcome to this program, Read Your Bible Through in a Year. And today we are on day 59. And in the Old Testament, we will be reading from the book of Numbers again, chapters 17, 18, and 19. And in the New Testament, Gospel according to Mark, chapter 6, verses 3 to 56. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have not subscribed for this YouTube channel, please do subscribe. Don't forget to share this link with your friends and families. And there is a bell icon. Please click on that to get the reminders and notifications. If you have missed any of my previous days teachings, you can always follow the link on the top right hand corner of your YouTube screen, and you will be able to view the previous day's explanations. Okay. Yesterday, we stopped with chapter 16, where Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, how they were punished for speaking against or revolting against Moses. So now today, we are again reading on the same subjects, related subject, like the budding staff of Aaron. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelite and get 12 staffs from one of them." It's again, God is trying to prove how Aaron is set aside. In 18, the Lord gives everything, all the details of the duties of the priests and Levites. What are the offerings of the priests and Levites? Here, you have to read very, very, very carefully. When all the others are supposed to give the tithes and offering, the people or the Levites are exempted from that. If you read chapter 18 verses 23, it is the Levites who ought to do the work at the tent of the meeting. They are set aside people and bear the responsibility of offenses against this. This is the lasting ordinance for generations to come. They will receive no inheritance among the Israelites. So when they go to the promised land, they won't get any inheritance among the Israelites. Instead, I give the Levites as their their inheritance, the tithes that the Israelites present as an offering to the Lord. That is why I said concerning them, they will have no inheritance among the Israelites. Whatever the tithes the Israelites give, that is the inheritance for the Levites. So they are specially chosen, and they live by the God's divine providence. The Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Levites and say to them, when you receive from the Israelite the tithe I give you as your inheritance, you must present a tenth of that tithe as Lord's offering. Your offering will be reckoned to you as a grain from the thresh floor, or juice from the winepress. In this way, you also will present an offering to the Lord from all the tithes you receive." So whatever the tithes, the Israelites put the tithes, and from that tithes, the Israelite do the offering. So this is all the tithes, whatever the Israelites give, that belongs to the Levites. And from that, you all know, the best will be the tithes or the offering given to the Lord. So that becomes the inheritance for the Levites. So the Levites gets the best. So from that, they give the tithes to the Lord. So that is the ordinance which the Lord gives. So you need to understand how the Levites are blessed. You might say, "Oh, where do we get the blessings?" So you all know it's the Lord's command. You give the best out of your land, the first fruit from your land, the first of your pasture, from your flock. You give the best of the best to the Lord. So that becomes the inheritance for the Levites, and from that they are supposed to give the tithe to the Lord. Okay, so this is how it works. From these tithes, you must give Lord's portion to Aaron the priest. You must present as the Lord's portion the best of the holiest part of everything given to you. And in the chapter 19, we read about the water, the cleansing through the water. So what are the ways you use the water for cleansing? So this is what we read in the Old Testament. So now it's getting more day-to-day kind of thing. So what the tithes and offerings, how it has to be presented, etc. So that's what we read in the Old Testament. So I repeat again, we read Numbers chapters 17, 18, and 19. So the Gospel according to Mark in the New Testament, we read the remaining portion of Gospel of Mark chapters 6. We are reading from verses 30 through to 56. So here Jesus feeds the 5,000, the same instance which we read in Matthew chapter 14 and Luke chapter 9, John chapter 6. Again in Luke we read in chapter 6 and Mark chapter 8 also we have a feeding of 2,000 people. So Jesus walks on the water. So all these comes at the later part in the Gospel of Matthew and Mark, Matthew, Luke and John. So in Matthew it is it comes only on the 14th chapter, but in Luke it comes in the chapter 9 and in John chapter 6. So here you can see Mark is not worried. I'm repeating this again and again so you know why Mark's gospel is so short. There's an urgency, and he is interested not in the teachings of Jesus but only in the miraculous signs of Jesus, what he performed, so that the people who lived outside the Jesus ministry will be able to know what Jesus taught and what Jesus did while he was on this earth. So thank you very much for listening, and hope you're enjoying this reading. Very soon we'll be touching day 60, and we are almost coming to the end of Mark's gospel as well, which is which is really exciting. And please don't give up. I'm really sorry if I'm not able to upload any of my teachings. It's because of this course which I'm doing. Once I complete that, I will be able to concentrate and give you some insight into the Shroud of Turin. It's a very interesting studies about the suffering of Jesus, the crucifixion. It's a complete different insight I've got through this course, listening to the lectures of famous professors and doctors and theologians who have done hours of studies on the sufferings of Jesus, how much he suffered for us. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget, please click on the bell icon to get the reminders and notifications, and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Until I see you next time, stay blessed, stay safe, and goodbye.